And to my fellow Indians, welcome home. This is where many of us spent our formative years. This gym, which a number of times that we've run those steps up and across and down, and up and across and down. The new building, which I believe was built in 1963, right? Is that new building? The old building, one of the few schools where you actually cross the street and go to your next class. I was in a college. The church, so many great moments. But Holy Cross is about the people. So as you look around and you see former teachers, former coaches, former teammates, the people is what makes Holy Cross such a special place. So Holy Cross is our home. It's glad to be back. And it's going to be a fabulous evening as we celebrate these 11 Hall of Famers. First, we'd like to recognize some luminaries that are in the gym with us tonight. We're going to start with our new head boys basketball coach. Now here's a young man that played basketball down the street at our arch enemy, Covington Holmes. Won a state championship in 2009. Had his career at Ohio University. Outstanding player, outstanding man. We are extremely lucky that he is our new head coach, the new boys coach here at Holy Cross. Please welcome Ricardo Johnson. Not here tonight, but he will be mentioned. There's a young man by the name of Teddy Arlinghouse. Teddy last year led the Lady Indians basketball team to the OA state title after nearly winning it the year before. But setbacks made away for comebacks. Teddy led his squad to the state title last year. Quick sideline on that. I teach at St. Henry and I help St. Henry's girls basketball team, so we're playing them in the semifinals of the OA regional. So Teddy comes out and playing us man-to-man. Well, we ran 4 plays and scored 9 points. We're up 9-2. Teddy called timeout. Didn't play us man-to-man anymore. Went to traffic full court, traffic heavy court, and I don't know if he scored the rest of the game. Brilliant coaching. Anyway, Teddy's doing a great job with our girls basketball team, and we recognize him tonight. For volleyball, we have Coach Jill Hunt here in the house. I don't believe Becky Houston is, but Jill and Becky are our head volleyball coaches and led the Indians to OA regional championships and also to the All-A state volleyball finals. Jill, please stand. Is Julia playing basketball this year, Holy Cross? Before Mr. Holmes brought up Pat Ryan, he won't want me to do this, but Pat Ryan came to Holy Cross in the 1980-81 school year. He was my basketball coach my senior year. Pat's put in over 40 years here at Holy Cross as a teacher, as an administrator. If you ever been on the wrong end of you got a minute from Pat Ryan, you got a minute? Rob Fisher's been on the end of that. So, but the unbelievable amount of work that he's put in for this incredible event, once again, I think he needs attention. So if we can give a round of applause for Pat Ryan. And lastly, again, a guy who put in a lot of work would be my brother Jeff. Jeff is sitting right there. He digs up all a lot of information and puts a lot of the footage together. Maybe not nearly to the capacity that Pat does, but still this couldn't happen without the hard work of Jeff, and of course his beautiful wife Judy's up there. Hi Judy. So a round of applause for Jeff. As you look above there, if my math is correct, there are 78 members of the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame. In a little while, there's going to be 89. It is such a prestigious group of people. Oh yeah, tremendous athletes, no question about it. But it takes so much more, as you know, to be successful. They were great teammates. They were great students. Wonderful people and incredible ambassadors for our high school. You know, Holy Cross is not a front runner. So, you got the names up there, you got all these bangers around here. I can probably count on one hand, if that, the number of those teams were maybe favored to win whatever region or state that they did. Holy Cross is more of an underdog school. It's what drew my family to Holy Cross, because, again, the toughness, being a teammate, sure you got to have ability, but you got to be able to sacrifice yourself and put others before yourself. And the people up on those banners, the people up on the Hall of Fame banners, and these 11 certainly fit the bill when it comes to sacrificing themselves for the good of the team and for the good of Holy Cross. So, I congratulate you all as you join the rafters tonight, and thank you for, in those three ways, athletically, as a student, and as a person, taking Holy Cross High School to the next level. Thanks to all of you. A round of applause for them all, please. Okay, let's begin. Last year I made the mistake of reading all of these, from cover to cover, all these biographies. We're almost late for 8:30 Mass Sunday morning. So, I've learned from my mistakes. And we do have a slight change in the lineup. So we're moving Tracy Kennedy to the front. Thank you, Trace. So what I'm going to do is I just highlights. So I'm not reading the entire biography, just going over the main points, and then we'll bring our Hall of Famers up, and they can say what they would like to say. Tracy Kennedy Roberts, a 2000 grad, was one of the best that ever stepped on a soccer field in an Indians uniform. Her career, spanning 1996 to 1999, was nothing short of extraordinary. She was a 4-year varsity contributor, and she's got the numbers in the hardware to prove it. As a freshman in 1996, that team would go on to win the regional championship and make a run at the state title. They finished with a record of 19-4. During that memorable season, the Lady Indians won a prestigious Louisville Male Invitational as Tracy made the alternative team. That team would also defeat number 1 ranked in the state, Louisville Sacred Heart, and number 2 ranked in the state, Notre Dame. 1997 was a rebuilding year for the Indians, but Tracy didn't know that. Coach Dave Reynolds said, Tracy played every game with a single purpose, to win. She was one of the best I ever saw. The team returned to form in 1998 with Tracy, now one of the bona fide veteran leaders, and took the field with brand new red Adidas jerseys. She would lead the team in scoring and assists, as the Indians would finish 14-6. Following the season, she was named to the North Kentucky Girls Coaches Association Regional All-Star Team, as well as the 17th District and 5th Region Tournament teams. Tracy's senior season was another decorated year for her and the Indians. Tracy would once again lead the team in goals, but this year there would be a new assist leader. Tracy's teammate and best friend since they were 9 years old, J.D. Reynolds. The two were unstoppable on the pitch and inseparable off it. The team would go on to win the district championship with a 2-0 victory over Notre Dame before falling short to them in the regional, finishing 18-5. Tracy was named the 1999 Northern Kentucky High School Girls Association Player of the Year, the Kentucky Enquirer Player of the Year, the Kentucky Post Offensive Player of the Year, 5th Region Player of the Year, Hags High School Sports Magazine Senior All-Star, First Team All-State, and honorable mention for Miss Kentucky, as well as receiving the Scott Christian Memorial Achievement Scholarship. Tracy's 40 career goals placed her 3rd all-time in school history, and her 29 assists put her 4th. During Tracy's 4 years of varsity soccer competition, the Lady Indians won 50 58 games against only 28 losses and played in 4 regional tournaments. After graduating from Holy Cross, Tracy would go on to have a stellar collegiate career with the Xavier Musketeers. Tracy's dad, the late great Tim Kennedy, was a tremendous assistant coach and an even better person. And I'd like to share with you something that Natalie Gardner said to Coach Ryan about Tim Kennedy. Another separate item about Tracy Kennedy. Not sure if you gathered this as part of your research, but Tracy's dad has passed, and he was an integral part of her soccer career. I have super fond stories of his assistant coaching. My senior year, he and I had this 15-step ritual with my water bottle that happened before every game. I'm not exactly sure how it started, but it became a sacred, superstitious, and humorous part of our pregame routines. It got to a point that neither of us even needed to exchange words in the process. He brought a sense of humor and complete confidence in our abilities, cheering us on each game, and he is a large part of my fond high school soccer memories. Tim and Janice Kennedy raised an incredibly talented, wonderful daughter. Let's welcome Tracy Kennedy Roberts to the prestigious Holy Cross Football Academy.
Thank you. I am so honored to be in the Holy Cross Hall of Fame. The 4 years at Holy Cross were some of the best years of my life. I'd like to start out by thanking the most supportive people, my mom, Janice Kennedy, and my 3 children who all play soccer, Ryan, Alex, and Caroline. Ryan is my oldest, and he's playing high school soccer right now, so I see him playing, and it takes me back every time I see him with his teammates, on and off the field. Some of my very best friends are from Holy Cross and we played for each other. So I'd like to thank those players who played beside me tonight. Without you, I could no way be receiving this honor. Now I'd like to thank all of my incredible coaches, especially Dave Reynolds. Man, you led that team with so much love. I know you love soccer, and so we loved it too. And you instilled confidence, which is apparent now. Kids who play sports, confidence is everything. So thank you. You did a great job. And today I'm a coach and a teacher, and I think about Coach Dave all the time and try to follow in his footsteps. And last but not least, I would like to thank my assistant coach, my dad. Everyone loved him and his sense of humor, and he always believed in me even when I had my doubts. And I knew him and my mom were so proud of me because I could feel it every time I played. And that's what I hope to do for my kids. I'm so proud of you too. So, Dad, I miss you so much, and you still are the wind beneath my wings, and this Hall of Fame honor goes to you, because I truly never could have done it without you right beside me. So, thank you, Holy Cross.
Thank you, Tracy, and again, congratulations. Our second Hall of Famer tonight, Craig Craddock, a 2000 graduate and a man for all seasons. In fact, he's a man for 5 seasons. Feel free to clap anytime. I was talking with Craig earlier, he has to be the only 5-sport star our school has ever had. Craig participated in and received varsity letters for football, cross country, basketball, baseball, and track. But he did so much more than participate. Craig was a star. Craig would say, I just like doing all kinds of different sports. Whatever season it is, I just go out and try my hardest. I do it for fun mostly, but I do like to win. As a cross-country runner, Craig had similar success. He was the team's Hustle Award winner 2 seasons in a row. In the spring of 2000, Craig was able to compete for the first time in both baseball and track. Mike Cook summed up Craig's careers with the track and cross-country teams, and as an athlete in general when he stated, he was a fierce competitor, and that rubbed off on the other team members. He worked extremely hard in everything he did. There were no shortcuts for him. He was the kind of athlete that makes a coach's job easy. He led by example. As a baseball player, Craig was blessed with incredible speed, quickness, and instincts. His real gift was his ability to terrorize opposing pitchers and catchers on the base paths. With 87 career stolen bases, nobody in the history of the Holy Cross baseball program has swiped more than Craig. Coach Lee Meeks has said, Craig gave our offense a psychological edge over pitchers. During his 3 varsity seasons, Craig would play a major role in the team's success, leading them to 3 night regional appearances, including a most unlikely trip to the regional finals in 1999. Craig played basketball for me in his senior year of 2000. Craig was my kind of player. Craig was always diving on the floor for loose balls, taking charges, doing all the dirty work, all the hustle work that makes teams win. My kind of guy. After high school, Craig went on to play 2 seasons of college baseball at Bluefield State College. He then transferred back home and played for Northern Kentucky University, where he started for the Norse, won 2 Great Lakes Valley Conference championships, and made an NCAA Division II regional appearance. After college, Craig settled down, began working full-time, and started a family of his own. He married his wife, Melissa. Together they have a son, Colt, and a daughter, Callie. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Craig Craddock, Holy Cross Hall of Fame.
I would like to thank my family, friends, coaches, teachers, and everyone who helped me and continues to help me out this day. I would like to thank Pat Ryan and everyone who put this event together tonight. This is great. Now, I am currently on my 13th year at DHL. I've been a manager for the past 2 years, and I use my experiences from sports to establish a winning team. My team is fast, dependable, and always ready to win at the time necessary to be successful. I've used a couple times before to calm the team and break up a few fights, but overall, a little heated argument and passion is always good for a team. When I am out of work, we're normally on a field or baseball court. My son Colt is playing baseball and basketball, and my daughter Callie is playing soccer, basketball, and she is cheerleading. My wonderful wife Melissa is a teacher at Goodrich Elementary and is the best teacher at school and to our kids. No question asked. Not to brag, but in the past 2 years, I have a 100% success rate on new calves at the farm. We are 84 for 84. 2 years ago, we moved down to the farm, and my father-in-law, Dale Scott, has showed me a lot of things about farming and basic life. Coach Meeks helped me out on the farming part during high school when I played baseball, and he put me to work a lot down at his farm. Being a great dad, husband, and hard worker is what I learned from my family and those around me, starting from St. Augustine all the way across. The amount of role models of just fantastic people that I was surrounded by daily helped me to develop into the person I am today. So I want to say thank you. I would like to thank my family for always supporting me, always cheering me on, and being by my side without the wins and losses on and off the field. My grandma, Melba Craddock, would attend games or events cheering me on and praying for my success. Regardless if I won, played horrible, or if I was fantastic, it didn't really matter. I was always the best player. She has a way to build me up, and I'm sure after giving the speech, will go down as the best speech in the world in her eyes. At least I hope. She is the best, and I love Grandma. I would like to thank my Aunt Amy for always being there for me and for always being ready to listen or help whenever someone in the family needs it. I would like to thank my sister Lauren for being a great sister and always for putting up with me and my friends. Thank you, Dad Rowling, for always supporting me and giving me great motivational speeches or talks when I or my teammates needed them. I would like to thank my Uncle Jim for always reminding my cousin Nick how I stole 3 bases off of him sophomore year. It never gets old, and it's a Christmas tradition. Thank you, Paul and Sherry, for always supporting me and ready to help whenever needed. I just want to thank all of you for coming tonight and celebrating this event with us. Some of my teammates and friends I would like to thank are Kevin Schmidt for always being a great friend, and I also promised him that I would thank him for getting us a new bat for the baseball season if I was inducted into the Hall. Thank you, Kevin. I love that bat. I love you also, brother. Thank you, Tony Davis, for always picking me up, calling the hero at times before big games. That always helped. Thank you, Chris Newhouse, for pushing me to get out of bed at 5 a.m. to run 2 or 3 miles. They run an additional 80 miles after school for some reason. We did really well junior. I think it was my junior, sophomore year, but all that hard work paid off. I'd like to thank Eric Stewart for always pushing me to be better. I would also like to thank Rob Feldman for being a great friend and always supporting me, and also for ensuring that both of us were always on time for baseball and basketball games and practice. This also applied to college. I am positive the only time we were late, Rob took a nap and I was awake, but I let Rob sleep an extra 20 minutes. Coach Meeks was not very happy with us and was totally my fault. Rob quickly learned never to trust me when it came to arriving on time. Sorry. I also want to thank Bate and Tina Feldman, Rick Schmidt, Coach Meeks, the whole Marlin House gang, the Fishers, the Trains, Coleman's, Clary's, Stores, Getz's, and Gastrites. When I think about the lacrosse and the great times I had, I am immensely happy that most of you in this room played a part in that. Thank you, guys. Now with this award, I would like to dedicate this award to 2 of my biggest fans who are no longer with us. My mom, Kim, who passed away last December, and my grandpa, Butch, who passed away in 2002. I never had to argue with the ref or get upset during the game because I knew they would be all over the ref or umpire if they made a bad call or just did something against me. They would pick me up when I would lose or have a bad game and would give me all the praise in the world when I did well. The things they taught me here instilled in me today. And I know they would be so excited to be here tonight. And they are one of the main reasons I'm here. Thank you, everyone. Go Indians.
There's one particular play about Craig I remember from his senior year. We're playing on the road down in Bracken County against the Polar Bears. And dude for Bracken County is coming in on the left side for an uncontested layup. Easy 2 points. Told Craig had pride. I mean, it was like he was shot out of a cannon. And he dove. There's guys going up for the layup. He dove and knocked the ball out of his hands, hit the ground, slid, hit his head on the wall. I was like, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Congratulations, Craig. Let's move on to our next Hall of Famer, Molly Slarman Fisher. There are names there, and there's a missing name, and one of them is Eifert. So you look at, Molly being the daughter of Sue, and the daughter of Doug, and married to Rob Fisher. Those 3 families, the Eifert family, the Fisher family, Slarman family, are 3 of the greatest Holy Cross families of all time. Just wonderful people. And Molly, of course, is so representative of all 3 of those families. She's a 2005 graduate and the embodiment of the superior student athlete. Class valedictorian, member of student council, class officer, member of National Honor Society, member of the United Way Youth Action Council, and an award-winning athlete. Molly simply excelled at everything she did. In soccer, the entire 2003 season was memorable. The 2003 Indians won the OA Regional and State Championships. That team would also go on to win a regional and finish runner-up in the state. The 2004 girls soccer team would go on to win the second All-A state. Coach Dave Reynolds said, "I remember Molly being an ideal player in person. She was anxious to do whatever was asked of her. She was an absolute blessing to have on the team." Megan, Molly's twin, mentioned to Molly that she should give track and field a try. And Megan's opinion meant a lot to her, so when she was encouraged to do it, she did it. In her first season, 03, Molly would be crowned regional champion in the 800, 1600, and 3200 meters. Would go on to win state championship in the 800 and 1600. Molly was named the Kentucky Enquirer Track Athlete of the Year and the Greater Cincinnati High School Sportswoman of the Year in track and field. And she was named first team All-State a total of 6 times. During her senior year in cross country, she finished as state runner-up, and she was dominant in track and field, winning for a 3rd time the 800 and 1600 in regional and state meets. Upon graduation from Holy Cross, Molly attended Belmont University in Nashville and competed in cross country and track and field. In 2009, she was a finalist for the NCAA's Giant Step Award, given to an athlete who inspires social change. Following her graduation from Belmont, Molly earned a doctorate degree in physical therapy from Washington University in St. Louis. Molly, you are a wonderful combination of your mother's brilliance and passion and your father's physical abilities and competitive fire. And tonight we welcome you to the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame. Molly,
It genuinely is such an honor to be inducted, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame at a place that has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. It was the life work of my mom and of my Uncle Clay to ensure that Holy Cross was a place for everyone. And it's a special place, and that's evident to me when I look up here after people today. On a personal level, so back in the 99, Coach Reynolds allowed 2 out-of-district Sunday leaders to spend the summer practicing soccer with the team. And to him, I'm sure it was a small decision, but it gave my sister and I the structure and normalcy that we so desperately needed after losing my mom. And to me, it's just reflective of the kindness and the character that just personified you. And that gave the opportunity to learn from 3 of the greatest who were up here, to be able to watch Jamie and Tracy and Krista, who just embodied work ethic and leadership and hustle, and to be next to Jenny Mom, whose mom in my adult life served as just an absolutely unforgettable example of resilience and devotion to family and unfailing selflessness in the most difficult of times. And so I am absolutely humbled to be up here with this group of people. And I think as much as today is a celebration of the people that are up here, it is certainly a celebration of the villages that got all of us here. And so to my village, the ones that are here today, the ones that are watching from above, and to the fantastic one that I'm married into, thank you all. I love you. My husband and I have 3 kids who are here today. And as they've gotten older and gotten involved in sports, I have become keenly aware of all of the time and love and patience and energy that goes into sports from both parents and coaches, and the idea that any athletic career, no matter no exception. And at Holy Cross, I think it's some of the greatest there. Coach Reynolds, Coach Gray, Ms. Scholar, Mr. Keys, Mrs. Stracco, and when it came to running to him, Mr. Cook and Brian Luttrell. My running career is not a foregone conclusion. I ran because my sister encouraged me to do it, and I believed I could do it, that I could do it. But I wouldn't have had the same success at a Liberty or St. Henry or Highlands. I would have been a number. I was successful at Holy Cross because I was fortunate enough to fall under the guidance of those two. And I think oftentimes in life, we're always looking to make a difference. And Brian, I know you know, for what it's worth, the difference that he made, your patience, your knowledge, your confidence in me. I'm eternally grateful for that, for the doors that were opened through running in college, running in high school, the places I was able to see. And most importantly, at this point in life, to have something that I know not doing like this. So I am certainly grateful for that. But thank you everyone for being here, and thank you to the committee for this honor.
Thank you, Molly. Congratulations one more time. Hey, one of the cool things for me on this particular night is so many of these wonderful people and athletes. I was around to watch them play a lot. The next person, however, I was not, because when he was playing, I was alive, and I think I was more interested in Bugs Bunny and the Flintstones than high school basketball. I didn't even know what it was. Let's meet our next Hall of Famer, Tom Salfeld, 1967 graduate, was the embodiment of a student that all educators dream of teaching. Tom was a hard-working student, an intense athlete, and deep in faith. Gary Schulte, a St. Thomas competitor, a tough rebounder, said that Tom was extremely competitive, hard-nosed, and had vice-grip strength hands. Once he grabbed the ball, he was not going to give it up. I saw John Winifred here tonight. The most accurate description that best characterized Tom Salfeld was gentleman. As evidence, while at Thomas More College, Tom received the Robert Reinach Award for Character and Leadership. Tom saw his first varsity action for the Indians as a sophomore, with spot duty on the talented 1964-65 state finalist team that finished with an incredible record of 33 wins and 4 losses. In Tom's first game as a junior, and now as a full-time varsity starter against Wolf Verona, he knocked out 18 points in the 78-67 victory. Tom would score double figures in 23 games that season. He would score career high 24 in a Holy Cross win against Beechwood. The 65-66 team would be short on returning experience, and to make a 4 straight regional appearance would be a monumental task. Rival Covington Catholic stood in the way. Covington had previously defeated Holy Cross 3 times and were ranked 19th in the state. But the 4th time was a charm for Holy Cross, as they upset the Colonels 83-74. The round's on me, I'm buying, because a long time ago, whenever Holy Cross beats Covington, wherever I am, I buy a round. That's all I'm in. Tom scored 19 points, including 11 of 15 from the free throw line, as he battled on the boards all night versus the taller Colonel front line. For the year, Tom would put together a double-double average, 13.1 points and 12.8 rebounds per game. And the Indians finished the year as regional semifinalists and a 20-12 record. The 66-67 season was another 5-1 for Tom and the Indians. Cub Camp was ranked #1 in the region and the top 10 in the state. And Cub Camp would dominate the region, losing only to one night region team. That would be Holy Cross, 77-72. Tom scored 22 points in that victory and went on to average 14.6 points per game and an astounding 16.3 rebounds a game in a senior season, which is why one of the reasons why we have that board of control over there. Marty Kehoe, in his February 28, 1967 Sunday Inquirer column, went on to print that Tom Sawfeld was one of the best rebounders in the history of the sport at Holy Cross. His name will now hang on the Hall of Fame wall with the other great Holy Cross rebounders. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming 1967 graduate Tom Sawfeld to the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. I'd be remiss and at least, thank you a couple of times for the Pat Lyons did a great job putting this together. He put a tremendous amount of hours in, and it's greatly appreciated. So thank you, Pat. I also want to congratulate all the other Hall of Famers that are here tonight, the inductees. Congratulations. And I'd like to just, I'm introduce a couple of people at the table. My wife, Kathy, has put up with me for a long, long time. My brother Bill and his wife Marcia, my brother Bob and his wife Kathy. It's John and Sherry Winterford, and Mary Kathy Schulte, and my nephew, Eric and Lindsay. Bob, Gary, and John and I played together at Thomas Ford. And it was great fun there. Gary was the enforcer. He made sure that he got the rebounds at Thomas Ford. John was a scorer in his car, but it was great fun. I'd be remiss if I didn't go ahead and talk about the coaches. Coach Schneider here, Coach Beasley here, Mr. Meyer, Thomas Ford. They were all great coaches. More importantly, they were great role models. They really set a great example for me. They made a great impression on me, here in high school and in college, and they made a real difference. Just with the experience we mentioned here, just with the teamwork, the dedication you put in, it definitely helped me. I was lucky enough to hit a 40-year career at St. Elizabeth, and it was very, very satisfying for me. I myself, I think about funny stories and things. We go back thinking about these things, and I think Jerry said I had iron hands. All I did in college, but in high school, my hands were so bad that Coach Schneider came up with an idea that there were these little red rubber things that would fit on your fingers. Hit them on both hands, trying to practice. Trying to catch the ball, hold on to it. And the team loved it because one, they made fun of me. But more than that, what happened is when I go to basketball, they'd all come off and they'd be able to take 10 minutes and put them back on so they'd catch their breath and get a drink of water. But yeah, so the good times went on, and just the fellowship that you develop through sports, it's great. So I was kidding around earlier that I think I came into the Hall of Fame on the old-timers ballot. But that's all right. I don't know I deserve it, but it's very greatly appreciated, and I do want to thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you.
Once again, Tom, congratulations. Job well done. Recognition greatly deserved. As for forgiveness, we'll have time here. This next Hall of Famer, I had a front row seat for this one. There were two miracles in 1980. One miracle was when the United States hockey team defeated the Russians to win a gold medal at Lake Placid. The bigger miracle was the 1980 Holy Cross baseball team. Bigger miracle because the Hall of Famer we induct tonight, performance was absolutely legendary, and I want to tell you all about it. To be inducted into a Hall of Fame in a team sport, a player must have done something extraordinary to help their team accomplish something special. Well, Dan Niehaus did just that, but not exactly the way that he had expected. Dan was a starting guard on one of the best Holy Cross basketball teams in history. The Bill Fry coach team went 26-8 and won the very first ever All-A Classic played right here in this gym. The Indians were ranked second in the region all year long to the state's #1 team, the Holmes Bulldogs and Dickie Beal. Holy Cross advanced to the regional semifinals where we lost a heartbreaker 70-65 overtime to defending champ Highlands. Neby had 12 points in a wild first-round win over Newport and 16 points in the semis. But Dan and his teammates had a bitter taste in their mouths after the semifinal basketball loss. Fortunately, there was still one more team sport left for Dan to play, and it would be a season that would go down in Holy Cross sports history. The 1980 Holy Cross baseball team came into the season unranked and unheralded, but first-year head coach Jerry Yingling loved this team. Dan Niehaus was able to contribute on the mound, at third base, and at the plate, and he did all three in a big way. During the regular season, Dan compiled a 2-2 record as a pitcher with a 1.75 ERA. There's a team right over here on the other side of the river that could use that right now. At the plate, Dan led the team with an on-base percentage of .522 and was first in runs scored and walks. But as tremendous as his regular season was, his performance in the postseason was nothing short of sensational. Holy Cross entered the 34th District playoff roll, having won 7 of the last 9 games, including a 12-0 thrashing of St. Henry to win the NKIAC Tournament Championship down to 47, number 2 down here. One thing about that season was there was a lot of rain. We didn't play many games. I believe we were 8-5 going into the postseason. So we drove Covenant Catholic, and the Colonels had a 5-1 lead at Covenant Catholic going into the last inning. That's what Dan Niehaus blasted a 2-run double and cut the lead to 5-3. Then Clay Eifert came up and lined a rocket down the right field line to tie the game at 5-5. And then somehow miraculously, we win the game on a catcher's balk. As we were attempting to do a squeeze bunt and the catcher tried to bust through the bat, was called for a catcher's balk. We win the game 6-5 and dog pile home plate. In the district finals, Dan was on the mound and gave up only 2 runs and a 3-1 loss to the Holmes Bulldogs. So we lose in the district finals. But he would not give up another run the rest of the year. So let me set the stage for you. 18 tournament at Boone County High School. The Cincinnati Enquirer had a pre-tournament article, and it ranked the 8 teams. Holy Cross was ranked 8th out of the 8 teams in the regional tournament. In the article that followed, it talked about each of the 7 teams other than Holy Cross and the ace pitchers that they had, and they all had fantastic pitchers. No mention of anything about Holy Cross, Dan Niehaus, or anybody else for that matter. So we drove Simon Kitten right out of the gate, and they're loaded. One thing about Simon Kitten, and Danny grew up with these guys, and they knew what kind of hitters they were. They loved fastballs, like Pedro Serrano in Major League. We started our ace, Van Linehan, as we should have, and Lenny threw gas. Simon Kitten liked gas. So after we got up 2 runs in the first inning, Simon Kitten came back with 7 in the bottom of the first inning. And that's when everything changed. Coach Yingling made a pitching change, and those decisions that would result in one of the greatest pitching performances in night region tournament history. Dan Niehaus would enter throw 8 2/3 innings of shutout baseball, allowing only 4 hits while striking out 6. Meanwhile, we just kind of pecked away at the lead. Coach Yingling had moved Niehaus, a 4-10 hitter, into the leadoff spot where he banged out 2 hits and knocked in 3 runs. We ended up tying the game in the 6th inning and moving it to extra innings. And then in extra innings, I got lucky, got on somehow. And then Clay Eifert hit a 2-hop missile right through the pitcher's legs and scored me and gave us the lead. And then Dan shut it down in the 8th inning. Dog pile number 2 at home plate. We moved to the 7th finishing strong Newport Public. They were good. Trailing 2-0 in the 6th inning, the Indians broke through with RBI singles from Steve Kaler and Dan Niehaus, our Hall of Famer, to tie the game. Newport came back with a run in the 7th inning to take a 3-2 lead. But then at the bottom of the 7th, Dan Lenihan hit a walk-off 2-run homer for a 4-3 miracle victory, dog pile number 3 at home plate. And that set the stage for the championship game. It rained 3 consecutive days. Lloyd had a pitcher by the name of Tim Pumphrey. He threw 90 miles an hour. Back then, nobody threw 90 miles an hour. I remember Coach Ealing took us to the batting cage out there on Dixie Highway. Coach Ealing was a pitcher at Nebraska. And he stood about 30 feet from us, and he just threw it as hard as he could at us to get us ready for that game. Of course, the only person that helped was Clay. So the Cinderella Indians would take on the Lloyd Juggernauts in unanimous preseason number 1. In the 4th inning, Clay Eifert drove a Pumphrey pitcher to the right center field fence to give us a 1-0 lead. He hit that so hard, that ball's still flying. And that was the only run that Dan Niehaus would lead. A Cincinnati Enquirer reporter stated the 6'2" Niehaus was busy confounding the heavy-hitting Juggernauts with an assortment of breaking pitches. Dan threw a masterpiece, allowing only 3 hits, while striking out 6 with no walks. In the bottom of the 4th, he fielded a squeeze bunt, threw home to Steve Kaler and nailed Pumphrey at the plate. He struck out the final batter with the tying run on second base. Those were the only 2 threats of the game. Final score, Holy Cross 1, Lloyd nothing. Dog pile number 4, and the greatest miracle of baseball sports in history. And if you look over there at the white banner, all the great baseball teams that this school has had. And it just kind of shows you that in order to win a region, no matter what it is, basketball, baseball, you got to be good. And our team was good. But you got to get some breaks as well along the way. So for those 2 teams to be the only regional winners in the school's history is really astounding. But it all happened because of Dan Niehaus and his teammates. Dan told a Kentucky Post reporter, "I felt good. I threw 5 different curveballs and used them all. I even came in with a sidearm fastball once or twice." He also alluded to the fact that we owed the Region 1 for not winning in basketball. Kind of makes up for it. Dan and his teammates won all 4 postseason games by 1 run, all in dramatic fashion. A team that was unranked and unheralded and had no players on the all-region team was now the night region champs. He was selected MVP of the night region tournament, throwing, check this out, 15 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball with everything on the line. In postseason play, he led the Indians in hitting with a 400 average, an on-base percentage of 500, and knocked in 6 and scored 4. But on the biggest stage, opportunity met preparation, and he led us to that regional championship. I'm going to go off script right now. I've known Danny for a long time. Danny Niehaus is the type of guy that exudes confidence. And he put us on his back in that regional tournament. He got into what some I don't know the zone, but he got into the zone. And when he got into the zone, our team got into the zone. I don't recall one error in that entire postseason, not one fielding error. But when you have a guy like Danny Niehaus who exudes confidence, it just kind of permeates throughout your team. And we started to believe. And when an underdog team, especially a Holy Cross underdog team, gets into the zone and gets motivated and gets that look in their eye, it's amazing what can happen. And Dan, as your teammate, is one of the greatest moments of my life as a competitor. And again, we owe it largely to you. So please join me in inducting my teammate, Dan Niehaus, into the Holy Cross. Wow. That's what it's all about.
disclosure, everyone on Turtle's figure, so it's going to be short and sweet since I took all my thunder already. So everybody got one of my thank yous and congratulations by the way. Let's start with thank you, fellow inductees. Great job. You're all proud. Also like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee, especially Pat Ryan and Jeff Train. They all put a lot of work together to put it together. I'd like to thank all my coaches, Mr. Fry, Mr. Beasley, Mr. England, especially Jeff Train. I'd like to thank my parents for allowing me to attend Holy Cross. I know it wasn't easy, and the sacrifices they made to send us here. Mom is 88 years young, still kicking, still kicking all the basketball games. Right here for every basketball game. Mom, want to stand up? Mom put Ada through school, and she was the rock behind the fall. My siblings, thanks to my brothers and sisters for being so damn competitive in my younger years. As my three sisters, I followed my three sisters into the Hall of Fame. Jenny, Linda, Jolie, they're all here. Thanks for them. So I had to follow them in. My family that's here. Thanks to my wife and kids for joining me here tonight to support all of us. All five of my kids went here and played sports. So thanks for coming on in the house name at this great school. Now I have a bunch written out for sports. Maybe already. I don't know what to say. He hit on every point, so almost made me cry. So with that, I'm going to cut it real short, and I want to dedicate this honor and this award. I may have a hard time doing this. Three people. First, my father. I lost 31 years ago. Way too early. Way too early. Dad, I think you're looking down and you're proud. The other two are up on the banners. They left us way too early also. My good friend, Todd Houston. Todd Houston. What an athlete he was. What an athlete. Good to be his friend. He was way younger than me. I got to know him. I walked after school and became good friends. Lost out with his dad, Troy, a good friend. We miss you, young. I know you'd be proud. And finally, this is one I have a hard time with. My best friend from high school and college, Cleophas Clay Isaac. What a man. I can't say enough about Clay. I came from St. Anthony's, came from Holy Cross, the other St. Anthony athletes that were with me when we got together. So Clay always welcomed me with open arms. I hung out with guys from St. Anthony's or Dominic, like Jimmy Ford, Mark Zimmer. So once they were gone, me and Clay, my fellow teammates, became real close friends. But Clay, I miss him every day. He was the man, the coach, the brother, the teammate. So without him, I know I wouldn't be up here. So I want to dedicate these to them three people. And with that, thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Davey. I get to relive all those memories again. It's fabulous. One of my favorite lines of the movie is, "Let's talk football. Let's talk football." We're going to talk some football. The other night I was with my brother Jeff, and he was looking at stuff that he had dug up on Tyrone Armstrong. And he said, "These stats are absolutely incredible. 2,000-yard running seasons." He said, "I'm in the paper and look at the paper stuff, and the articles are only like this long. And they really didn't say much about it, but these numbers are just ridiculous." Amen, brother. Tyrone Armstrong was one of the greatest athletes ever walk these halls. A 2004 graduate, Tyrone now holds the distinction of being the first football player to be inducted into the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame. That deserves a round of applause. May I say that Tyrone, he put Holy Cross football on the map. He started his youth football career as a center, but switched to running back when he was age 12. He moved into the backfield. His move into the backfield would become instrumental in moving the Holy Cross football program into a new era of formidable competitiveness and showcased Tyrone as one of the best football players in the area and, of course, in program history. There's no doubt that Tyrone and all of his teammates, those who are here and those who weren't, definitely laid the groundwork for the state championship of 2012 that will come years later. Tyrone came to Holy Cross in the fall of 2000 and joined the football team in time for preseason practices. As a freshman, Tyrone showed a glimpse of what was to come when he rushed for 245 yards and scored 2 TDs. His sophomore year, Tyrone rushed for 765 yards and 8 touchdowns. Even more incredible was his 2002 junior season when he rushed for 1,300 yards, adding 17 rushing touchdowns and 1 kickoff return for a TD. Tyrone would become Holy Cross' first 1,000-yard rusher. While Tyrone was getting better with every season, so too was Holy Cross football. The Indians posted its first winning season, 7-5, made their first Class A playoff appearance, and won the first ever playoff game by defeating Nicholas County 35-14. In that game, Tyrone rushed for 212 yards and scored a second quarter touchdown that put the Indians ahead for good. That season would be a difficult act to follow. The offensive line, coached by future head coach and former Bengal Bruce Kozerski, did just that. Tyrone would surpass all of his rushing totals from the previous year and set records that are still intact today. Tyrone knew the opponents would be keen on him going into the 2003 season. It just pushed me to work harder and our team to work harder, he said. In 2003, the team went 7-5 and made a second straight appearance in the Class A playoff, defeating Lexington Christian on the road 42-21. Tyrone continued to reset the Holy Cross record books. In a regular season game versus Brackton, Tyrone rushed for 232 yards on 18 carries for a gaudy 12.9 yards per carry. Against NCC, Tyrone had 2 breakaway runs of 77 and 71 yards. And for the season, he rushed for a record 2,057 yards and accumulated 19 rushing touchdowns. He set the school record for career rushing yards with 4,367 yards, and rushing TDs were 46. We call Bill Gallo. Bill Gallo. Tyrone was one of the school's really first good football players. He had breakaway speed, good hands, could catch and run, and loved contact. Coach Weissel realized he could build a potent offense around him. Coach Kozerski proudly said this about Tyrone. He came to Holy Cross as a fun-loving young man looking for a chance to improve his life. He understood that if he came to Holy Cross and worked hard, he would become successful in the classroom. He trusted that he would get the help he needed to pass all his classes and eventually graduate. His graduation from Holy Cross was an incredible accomplishment. On the field, his contribution to this school will last forever. He was fast, he was strong, he had all the toughness that a young man could have coming from his part of town. So congratulations from the entire Holy Cross football community. You will always be our first Hall of Famer. It's been 25 years since Holy Cross played its first varsity football game. And it's time to welcome its first Holy Cross Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Tyrone Robinson.
the streets of Cincinnati. I grew up all over the city, Winton Hills, Avondale, multiple locations on the west side. We didn't have much, but we made the most of what we had. Dreams don't always come true where I come from. The saying that it takes a village to raise a child is absolutely true. It took a village to get me here. So if you got 1 more minute, I do got to run on a few thank yous. I was raised by a bunch of women coaches, and I thank you all for that. Coach Ward, Coach Terry, Coach Tubby, Coach Green, Lord, rest their souls, Coach Marty, Coach Rob, Coach Nick, those are our Blue League coaches. To my middle school coaches at Gator High School, Western Hills, thank you. Coach Mike, who had me at 9 years old, actually playing baseball. Baseball was my first love. Coach Mike showed me the first true meaning of what it meant to be coached. He was a true role model and just a father figure too. He coached me for about 3 years, and I just always wanted to never play for anybody that didn't have those qualities. As he mentioned, I started playing football at 8 years old, or sorry, 9 years old, as a center, my first two years. It was until I was 12 years old that I was able to actually play a skilled position. I remember going to practice, and the coach saying, "You be center," and I raised my hand, and he started to laugh at me and said, "So, you're going to be right back." And from there, the sky was limit. I do want to thank Coach B and Coach James as well, but just, we were in the same organization. They never truly coached me directly until I got here at Holy Cross. But the love and the care that they gave us and treated us like their family. Like countless amount of songs personally that you share with us, countless amount of car rides and conversations, and just the family figures that you guys were, and to see Coach B, still be here and continue to get a love to the kids that come from where we're coming from. I do greatly appreciate that. Coach B, for sure, before I ever took the field as well, you always was the guy to get in my ear and just let me know, hey, can they stop you? I would always tell them no. Well, go ahead and show them the baddest kid out there. And that all it took to get me pushed and keep me going. To Coach Cox, Coach Bird, and Coach Weiss I think these guys welcomed us all, a group of brothers. I believe we started out with 17, believe it or not. But in my graduating class, I think going forward, to let you know how tough that journey was and how the team. Coach Cox, you were truly just a man. When I first met you, how should I tell you no? You coached for the Bengals. You were the biggest dude I ever met in person. And being 15, standing next to you, 5'9", 165 pounds, everything you said just got big. And I wanted to be a part of everything that you were ready to say. The biggest, thing that really sold me, I wasn't always ball in right away, but when I met Coach Collins and I met his family, and I saw how he, took care of his kids, and had a wife, a house, a pool, like everything I could always dream of, this guy had. So I was able to say that, listen, pay attention to see what it took to figure that out. It's kind of funny because your son Adam came to me today, and I actually included him to my speech today, because I don't think he understands just him being around. It made us want to, we couldn't do anything wrong. We couldn't curse. We couldn't cut corners. We couldn't, anything you name it, actually spoke. Just seeing him and just looking at his eyes, he's big, the ball boy is kind. Just him being around, it really was just one of those experiences that we didn't want to let him down or anything. And Coach, again, I just appreciate you pushing us to the limits like you did. You never let me give up, you again, never let me cut the point to make sure that we get 100%. Of course, I lost one of my favorite guys my senior year. That's Coach Weissholm. Coach Weissholm is still probably one of the greatest human beings I ever met. he also coached me a little bit in wrestling. Coach would pick us up every day. He had a station wagon, I believe, at the time. He would pick us up every day, call us into his vehicle, and do whatever it took to make sure that we got to and from home. Over time, he ended up selling his vehicle to make sure that we could all get to school. And he bought a van. At the time, he was also in his 60s, I believe, and he took on the burden of having to pick his grandkids up from practice as well. So it was us in the van with 2 car seats and 7 sneakers. Just imagine the fun and the conversations. It's wild. When Coach passed away, I was truly devastated. It was my senior year, as I mentioned. We had a few scholarships and things coming at us, a few opportunities, but Coach continued to fight for us. He was like, you know what, you can get more, we can get you more, we can get you more. And then it happened. I was very thankful I got to speak at his funeral. And that just always going to stick with me. Like every time I pray, I make sure I talk to him before I continue on with my dad. I never go unless I never miss 3 prayers, but I miss my songs. I love it. I'm not exactly sure who is responsible for me figuring out the opportunity to be here, but I want to say he played a key role along with Coach Tony, Coach James, and Coach Cox. So those 4 people are very important. I want to say rest in peace to my Aunt Shirley. Aunt Lula, we call her Kiki. And my aunt, she actually had 6 kids. Aunt Lula was actually one of my favorite artists. She had 6 kids, and then my mom had 3. She would literally babysit us all at one time. We had 9 kids in one apartment. And if you know about the bad apartments, it wasn't the best situation to be in, but we were just young kids having fun, and it didn't matter. So I just want to thank my aunt Peggy, which was truly my favorite. To my amazing grandmother, she's 92 years old, still taking care of me here today. She's so great, but I'm not who I am without her, because she was my babysitter as well. She truly gave me all the tools to be the leader that I am. Like I said, leaders are created their born, but that lady created me. She made sure there was nothing I could do. I couldn't do anything without being smacked around or getting so that truly did shape. She made sure we had all of these things, all of everything I could do with my parents, my grandmother, and my grateful for always having my home. I love you, grandma. Thank you. To my mom. My mom was truly the hardest worker I've ever seen in my entire life. Like her no quit is what I have. No quit. Oh, you never quit. Truly, because my mom worked like 9 to 10 p.m. I truly had to, we were forced to mature. We were forced to figure it out. We were forced to be a man. We were forced to help out. And for that, I need to go. Like, you taught me so much. I will not be here again. It will not be. Of course, my dad, great man, he's here as well. Same deal. He was never necessarily always there at the beginning, but from the age of 10, this is how I remember my life. From the age of 10 until the day, he's truly my best friend. My dad never missed a game. My dad never not answered the phone. My dad never was not there for me whenever I needed something. I was my wisdom, advice, how to do this, how to figure this out. I love you, Dad. That phone call goes a long way. And it's weird because when I'm sitting at home doing nothing, you call and think about you. That's kind of how I know that connection. And Mom, you did your job. And I appreciate you. Love you. My firstborn son. I don't think a lot of y'all do. I did this whole thing with a child. I really did. I was my sophomore summer. I had my firstborn son sitting right here. His name is Tyrone. This young man is the reason, more than the reason why I'm standing here today. And I was an active father. At 15 years old, I moved out of my mom's house into his parents' attic. I was paying $75 a month, and I had to wash dishes on Wednesday. And I made sure I did my part. And I made sure that I got the children to be who he is today. And I'm so proud of you. I didn't see this. I'm just so thankful that I was able to, again, figure it out. And it was based on the tools that I received from every single person I just named. I could not do this by myself. And at the time I didn't realize how tough it was because I didn't understand. All I knew was to get it done. There was no how to get it done. There was no worry about the plan. It was about getting it done. And I made sure I did that. Both my two boys, I love y'all. Also, to my kids' mothers, to be honest with you, I couldn't do this. I couldn't be who I am also without my kids' my kids' mothers, especially my first son, my baby. And I don't think for so much understanding. When I told her we were going to be fine. We were. We figured it out. Same to my second son, my almost here now. We're going to be fine. We'll figure it out. Thank you guys. To all my teammates in Little League, if I just don't want to miss anybody, to all my teammates in Little League, I definitely don't want to miss anybody. That was my alone, which was the reason why I walked through those hallways with these. I knew if I didn't have anybody else to come to, I can come to two people that I knew was my safe place. Mr. Goddard and Mr. Westerman. If you know Mr. Westerman, big hearts, great people. They'll never steer you in the wrong direction. And I love Holy Cross for creating people and keeping people like that in this building. To my best friend, Alex Bowles. My guy, my fullback, the only reason why I can still stand here and not have a little bit or anything like that is this dude all season got a red line across his face. And he still found the wife. The beautiful wife that he met here at Holy Cross. She was like, well, I love you right now. And then everything was history from there. But this dude would run through a brick wall. And I don't think he did it just for me. He did it for everybody who made a great blessing. Especially the coaches, he comes from the same tough upbringing, a similar tough upbringing as me, but I look at him standing before me and I'm just glad we can do it at 37 years old. I love you. To Gary Short, David Wamskins, Jason Neiman, Joe Fisher, Kevin Thornberry, JT, and Sonia. I do want to thank those guys because their families opened their doors for us.
Jamie Reynolds Gastrike, 2001 grad, stepped on the FOPA soccer field as a Holy Cross freshman in the summer of 1997. Jamie's career began typical of most freshmen playing varsity soccer. That's catching up to the speed of the game, playing against physically stronger and older players, and gaining experience. Yet she showed great promise. However, that promise was sidetracked her sophomore season with a torn ACL suffered in the second game. But her comeback would be record-setting. Jamie would finish her illustrious career as one of the best soccer players in Northern Kentucky and in Holy Cross girls soccer program history. Jamie's potential turned into reality starting with her 1999 junior year. She scored 7 goals and added an incredible 16 assists, setting a Holy Cross girls soccer team record. The team put together a 7-game winning streak on its way to an 18-5 record. In the regional tournament, Holy Cross easily got past Villa, then upset a highly regarded rival squad before playing March rival Notre Dame in the finals. Holy Cross would fall in the championship game 2-0, but they would meet again in 2000 for 3 pressure-packed games. That season began with the Lady Indians highly regarded. Coach Reynolds had assembled a group of young defenders that grew into a formidable back line. The defense gave up only 17 goals. The Lady Indians would go 20-4 on the season, and they would more than return the favor by defeating Notre Dame, beating them 3 times, once in the regular season, once in the district final, once in the regional tournament. In the sectional game, the Indians knocked off Harrison County, then defeated Woodford County in the state semis before falling to South Oldham High School in the finals. I remember that game very well down at Georgetown College. It was the deepest run in the postseason by a Holy Cross team since 1965 boys basketball team. In Jamie's senior season, playing the position of center midfielder, she scored 29 goals and tallied 16 assists for a second season in a row. Jamie had set a school record of scoring a goal in 8 straight games. Jamie also set a new KHSA girls state soccer soccer record by scoring multiple goals in 10 straight games. For her career, Jamie scored 37 goals, 6 on the HC career record books. Her 40 assists established a new school record in career assists. Jamie was named MVP for 3 soccer tournaments, Boone County Lady Rebel, the 11th district and 10 region tournaments. She capped off her honors with a first team selection by Northern Kentucky Girls Coaches Soccer and first team KHSAA All-State. Terry Gray, soccer assistant, said, "What I remember most about Jamie as a player is how fluid she looked on the soccer field. Whether she was running or handling the ball, it was like she was gliding on air." Teammate Tracy Kennedy noted that Jamie was the definition of a perfect teammate. And finally, Jamie's father and coach, Dave Reynolds, expressed these thoughts on his daughter. Jamie had the skills, the speed, the field vision, and the leadership qualities. She was the total package. Tonight, we welcome the total package to the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame. Please congratulate Jamie Reynolds Castro. Congrats again, Jamie. Job well done. 7 down, 4 to go, guys. Big one. Let's move to 1995. Great year. Michelle Bell, a 95 Holy Cross graduate. Two sports stars, both soccer and basketball. Her athleticism trademark cool demeanor and mental toughness propelled a career that earned all state honors in both soccer and basketball at regional and state levels. It is no mistake that the success of the Holy Cross Girls Soccer and basketball programs in the 90s coincided with the success of Michelle Bell's outstanding career. The 1991 soccer season, Michelle's freshman year, would set the Indians on a trajectory that would take them past the heights of district, regional, and sectional championships, and ultimately land them in the Kentucky State Finals. During Michelle's freshman and sophomore seasons, the team won a combined 28 games against 11 losses. 93 would turn out to be a special season for Holy Cross Soccer. Michelle was brilliant that year. She led the team in scoring with 18 goals, including a game winner and a sudden death against Montgomery County to advance the team to the state semis. Michelle was an athletic force to be reckoned with. Her natural instincts and athleticism provided her team an advantage that could not be coached or taught. A true force to be reckoned with, said her coach, Steve Rock. Michelle was instrumental in leading the Indians to their 5th regional championship and a trip to the state soccer tournament. The team finished the season with a record of 19-3-2, giving up fewer goals than any other team in Northern Kentucky. When soccer was over, Michelle transitioned straight into basketball, where she had even greater success. Coach Bill Gallo commented, "Michelle was everything a coach could want in a guard. She could score, shoot, pass, and rebound." In just 2 years as a varsity starter, Michelle led the Indians basketball team to a 34th district championship and back-to-back appearances in the 9th region tournament and an All-A Classic 9th region championship and a run to the All-A Classic state tournament quarters. During the 93-94 season, the Indians basketball team reigned as the highest scoring team in Northern Kentucky, averaging 69 points a game and posted a 27-4 record. Michelle led the team in scoring and assists, averaging 16 points and almost 4 assists per game. She posted a career high 29 against Augusta and scored 15 points in 3 games, grabbing 18 rebounds and dishing out 13 assists to help clinch the All-A 9th region championship. Expectations were high heading into 94-95 when the Indians ranked number 1 in the region and Michelle ranked the number 2 player in the region. Under Michelle's on-the-court leadership, she propelled the team to an 18-6 record, including an overtime upset of the top-ranked team in the state, Louisville Male, in the semifinals of the famous recipe. Michelle again led the team in scoring that season, averaging 17 points, 4 assists, and 3.1 steals. During her varsity career, Michelle scored 1,044 points in basketball and 26 goals in soccer, while amassing an impressive collection of team, district, regional, and state awards. Michelle will continue her basketball career in college, playing 2 seasons at St. Catherine in Springfield, Kentucky, before transferring to NKU, where she obtained a bachelor's degree in communications and public administration. So would everybody please join me in congratulating the newest member of the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame, Michelle Bell.
Thank you, Mr. Strain, for the introduction, and thank you to the selection committee for putting this wonderful night together. I also want to congratulate all the other inductees tonight. But I am beyond grateful to be inducted into the Holy Cross Sports Hall of Fame, and thankful for all those who made it possible. It is undeniable not to recognize the nostalgia within these gym walls. Each banner represents all the accomplishments of athletes throughout the school's history. One athlete in particular inspired me to become a Holy Cross Indian. And that banner is right up there, the 1965 men's basketball state runner-up. My dad, my first coach, Dan Bell. When I was 10 years old, I vividly remember walking into this gym with my parents and my sister to watch the Holy Cross Indians take on Reynolds High School. The energy in this gym was absolutely electrifying. The stands were packed with proud fans wearing red and black, and the cheerleaders were singing, "It's great to be a Holy that night, I decided I was going to be a part of this community, and one day I would feel the same pride to be a part of a team with a banner on Christian walls. I stand here tonight, as many have before, looking up at their names on these banners and remembering all the hard work, the challenges, the accomplishments, and the experiences that helped me become the woman that I am today. There's so many, I'm so grateful for the time here at Holy Cross and for all the good memories of playing soccer and basketball. There are very many. But what stands out the most are the people who were part of this journey. To my coaches, Mr. Goller, Judy Borgers, Steve Rump, the late Mr. Eifert, Mr. Westerman, and Mr. Keys. I'm grateful for the countless sacrifices that you made for our team. Your selflessness and dedication helped create an environment for us to thrive and succeed. Thank you very much for investing in our growth and success. My teammates and friends who stuck with me through thick and thin, and are currently my lifelong friends as well. We share countless memories, too many to share, but I am truly grateful for each and every one of you, and I hold you dear in my heart forever. But above all, I owe a tremendous amount of gratitude to my family for their constant love and support throughout the years. Our family of 6 is where I learned the importance of working together as a team. Mom, Dad, you are my greatest strength and most essential pillar of my life. Thank you for giving me my first teammates and best friends, Danielle, Rebecca, and Allison. Your tireless efforts and dedication to your children are beyond measurable. Dad, you're a saint to have lived with 5 women in one household. But thank you for instilling us with the determination to achieve our goals. Your love and commitment, guidance and encouragement made us who we are today. And I can't thank you enough for always being the light in our lives. Mama said. To my niece and my nephews and all the young stars out in this room, never underestimate the power of your dreams. They hold the key to unlocking the future, and you are capable of greatness. Unleash your potential and let your light shine. In closing, I want to express my sincere gratitude again to all of you for being a part of this journey and making this day possible. Let us continue to inspire and support each other as we forge ahead and leave our mark on this world. And I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Congratulations, Michelle. Job well done. Hey, about a month ago, my wife made me go to the James Taylor concert. Not a big James Taylor guy. Throws the Sticks concert. I'm all in. James Taylor. She drug me along. It was about 100 degrees, 99% humidity. James Taylor comes out wearing a sport coat. Sings his first song, stands up, just what I did, took the sport coat off, and what was I thinking? So, I feel your pain, James. Let's meet our next Hall of Famer. Whenever I see her name or see her, I just smile. Because she's just a person that exudes joy. Kristen Mitz-Boomsma, an 02 graduate. Medically was an outstanding athlete in both soccer and basketball. Described as having natural athleticism, technical proficiency, and excellent field and court vision, it's no surprise that Krista was one of the stars of the illustrious girls soccer team, which we honor in part here tonight, and a captain on a district championship winning basketball team. When asked for comments in response to the news of Krista's induction tonight, all of Krista's former teammates and coaches who responded spoke not only of her abilities as an athlete, but also of her likability as a person. She truly was an exemplary Indian, a fierce competitor, and a true friend. Krista was an integral part of arguably the greatest girls soccer team Holy Cross ever produced. The 2000 team, a team for which Krista and the Saltworth played an invaluable role. The team holds the school record for most ranked second in school history for most goals, 73. Krista's freshman and sophomore years, the Indians won 7 consecutive shutout games, state record at the time. And further, the 99 and 2000 teams still hold the school records for most shutouts in a season at 16 and 15 respectively. Krista's senior year, 2001, was another successful campaign for her and the Lady Indians. She led the team with both goals and assists. And they would once again find themselves competing in the state tournament and to be crowned regional champs in a dramatic overtime win against Notre Dame. They would play NCC in the first round of the state tournament, where they would win another nail biter in a shootout. The game-winning goal, courtesy of Krista herself. But that game-winning goal, as spectacular as it was, is not what most people remember about the NCC game. What most people remember is how Krista reacted to scoring that goal. Always thinking of the other person, she didn't celebrate the victory with her teammates, as you might expect. In an act of incredible sportsmanship, Krista went straight to the devastated goalie and consoled her. It was a testament to her character, displaying empathy and compassion, even in the heat of competition. Terry Gray said about her, Krista had such great natural athletic ability that she made playing soccer and basketball look easy. She also had a great sense of humor, which kept her teammates smiling. Dave Reynolds said, she was a delight to coach. She encouraged her teammates to do better, to work hard, and was a field leader who took on any role that was asked of her. Krista helped lead the basketball teams to 44 collective victories, an 0-1 district championship, and a regional semifinal appearance in her 3 years as a varsity starter for the Lady Basketball Indians. She was a floor general with great court vision, a perimeter threat, and an excellent mid-range shooter. Upon graduation, Krista would go on to play 4 years of collegiate soccer at Ball State University. I was very lucky to have witnessed Krista play a lot of soccer and basketball. She was a difference maker in both sports. What I remember most was that she was just a ton of fun to be around. We're lucky that Krista chose Holy Cross. So please welcome Krista Benz-Boomsma.
A great honor. I will say it has been so much fun being back within these walls and just being here at home. I haven't been back in here since I graduated my senior year, and I have a lot of cherished memories here as an Indian, both at FOPA on the soccer fields and here on the basketball court. I am very thankful to be a part of this community and to be an Indian. While here at HCS, the faculty became like family. They put so much energy and time and commitment into school, but also into the student body, and I'm forever grateful for that. I also want to say I'm thankful for God for giving me the ability to play multiple sports, and I thank my parents for giving me the opportunity to find me a way down here to play and be a student at Holy Cross. And lastly, I thank my brothers, Kyle and Kevin, because they were great supporters of me throughout my entire life and continue to be. So I'm so thankful for my family. Now I am on with 4 kids, and I'm coaching them in many of the sports that I played, and I have come to realize the true sacrifice of coaching. It's oftentimes thankless and very tiresome. And these coaches all set aside their time from work, for their own families, and setting aside for just doing anything for themselves, and they invested in their teams. The planning beforehand of the practices and games was definitely recognized by myself. And so to Dave Reynolds, Tim Kennedy, Terry Bray, Rob Keys, Dan Train, and their families, thank you for your sacrifice to teach me more about the games of soccer and basketball. I am forever grateful as sports grew me in more ways as a person than just playing the games themselves. I also recognize that these coaches poured into their players and they made personal investments in us. And that's something that I, to this day, as a coach, try to do with my players, because it impressed upon me that it wasn't just about the sport, it was building the person and building the character. And so now, as I'm coaching my daughters in soccer, I laugh all the time about what my former coaches had to deal with. well are strong, we create strong friendships and are crazy fun. From my dreams of losing vision and not knowing what's going on in Chris's brain, to no bathrooms down at FOPA, so just nasty stuff had to happen, to no touching Mr. Kennedy's black Mustang, and off limits for Krista, to whistling through our jumbos, and so many more. I fondly recall all of them. My fellow teammates of Tracy Kennedy Roberts and Jamie Reynolds Gastry, they were great leaders and friends for a large group of diverse girls in high school, and we learned a lot from them. And I just saw Natalie Gardner walk in, and she was team mom, and she kept my head on straight when I was running backwards when I should have been running forwards. So we had a great crew down here, and I'm forever thankful to be part of the Indian family. So I just wanted to say thank you, Holy Cross, for this great honor. Thanks.
I swear I'm not checking the register on my phone. There's something I need to refer to here a little bit. Krista, again, congratulations. Krista lives up near Chicago, so she made the trip down, so wonderful to see you, girl. All right, number 2. This man's a legend. Dave Reynolds. He took over the reins as head coach of the Holy Cross High School girls soccer program in the fall of '96. Dave was facing this challenge when he took over the head coaching position from the dynamic duo of Judy Borchers and Steve Rum. Under his direction, the Lady Indian soccer teams climbed to new heights. In his 6 years as head coach, he would record a 95-39 overall record, a 71% winning percentage, averaging 16 wins per season. This team would qualify for the 10th region tournament in all 6 seasons and win the region 3 times, playing in the state championship finals. They would establish a new record for wins in the season in 2020 wins. Dave's team scored 385 goals during his tenure, an average of 3.5 per game, against some of the best competition in the state. His defense allowed only 124 goals in Dave's 6-year span, an average of slightly over 1 goal per game. Phenomenal. Dave won both the state and regional coach of the year. Chris admits Boonesborough reflected the leadership he created from within the team itself and his ability to keep a team of hormonal, crazy, growing up ladies focused on being a team with unity and working together. Chris went on to say, Dave Reynolds always cared for his players as if we were his own children. I didn't just learn the game of soccer more from Dave, but also learned much about the game of life. He was such a positive influence on me during impressionable years. Tracy Kennedy said, Coach Dave made soccer fun. Coach Dave is a wonderful man who truly cares for each and every player. Finally, Dave's daughter, Jamie, said having him as a coach all those years was one of the best gifts I could ever have received. He taught us life lessons and respect. I'm so proud of him, as I know he is always so proud of me and the girls he got to coach. Now, Magdar just walked in, and she said something to Coach Ryan I need to read to you. It was my senior year, we were playing against another top Northern Kentucky team. We'd been dominating most of the game, but we're up a goal. Sometime during the middle of the second half, I committed a goalkeeper sin. As a bouncing ball came towards me, I didn't crouch all the way down with my body behind the ball. The ball took a nasty hop on the natural turf field, and it went through my legs, and in slow motion horror went into the goal. That goal tied the game and gave the other team a boost. A fight back and forth landed us a PK shootout at the end. I was absolutely livid with myself. I knew better. I landed us there. I let the team down. I let Coach Dave down. Lucky for us, we had some of the best shooters in the area in the form of Tracy Kennedy, Jamie Reynolds, and Kristen Mitz. I'm fuzzy on the specifics, but I remember that our kickers delivered, no surprise there. I shootout ended early in our win. But what I definitely remember with full clarity is this. Coach Dave, I was walking off the field completely deflated, about to have to try and fix my screw up in a shootout. Coach Dave walks up, smiles real big and says, Nat, you know I love you. What some of you might not know is that Dave had a special coaching skill. Emotional intelligence. He approached us first as human beings and then as players. I mean, quite frankly, it was a stroke of genius. Because he was to get the most difficult sect of humans in the world, teenage girls, to actually do what he asked. But I believe Dave just has that skill naturally. See, in that day, he knew I was beating myself up, that I knew exactly what mistake I had made, and that at that moment I needed to rally myself for the shootout. He knew me. Nat, you know I love you. Simple words, and exactly what I needed to shift my brain and bring my focus back. So while his credentials and victories in coaching teams through state championships absolutely secures his spot in the Hall of Fame, for me, it's the kind of coach he was that solidifies his spot amongst the greats. Thank you, Matt. So ladies and gentlemen, let's please welcome Coach Dave Reynolds, deservedly.
Thank you, Dan. And what a great story. I really remember that one. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's a great honor to be here. Before you start, I really want to thank Pat Ryan. This is just a lot of work. He starts on, like, I think in January. I think he notified everybody up here that around January that we were doing. And he was staying in touch with us the whole time, telling us, you know, any questions, we would call him, or he gives little tips or how to talk. And one thing, he was a real stickler on how long to talk. He said, he must have said 20 emails about, now look everybody, we talk this long, then it's going to be this much when you want to fly. And I think when you're walking around tonight, I find out I'm the only one he sent that email. And when I walked in and said hello, he said, Renee, the more you talk, the less they get to talk about you. That's his greeting to me. So I got that message. A special place and special people that walked in part of Holy Cross, and I'm proud to have been a part of it. And I'm very fortunate to have sent my own kids to Holy Cross. And I can never be more proud of the people that they've become. And I'm blessed with a wonderful family that now includes 6 beautiful grandchildren, 2 of which are going to Holy Cross here also. But like it comes so long with so many people. There's so many people that think I could never list them all. My wife Joyce and my children, Elizabeth, Jamie, and Kurt, are always incredibly supportive. It takes a great deal of time to coach, and they were our team that makes us famous. Most of all, I could never say enough thanks to my daughter. She was born to play this game, and her talent right out of the gate at a very young age opened the door for my involvement for so many years. And the fun thing was it really enabled us to meet very special people and families throughout our lives at our side. And I was blessed to coach many of Jamie's friends, and Tracy and Holly Mitchell, that were with us since they were like 8 years old at the time they stayed right on through high school. And then many years ago, I was welcomed here. Julie Borchers, who is rightfully in the Hall of Fame, I believe both of us are certain. And they're just absolutely wonderful people and coaches. I could never say enough about Julie and everything she's done. And Julie and my friend Steve Rump, someone screamed, "Call it both ways, ref." So, it's called both ways. It was not. And the ref stopped what he was doing and me on his face, walked right over me and flexed me a yellow card. He thought I should. So that's why I was hoping Scott would be here. But the beauty of Scott, he's done such a great job, but he wasn't supposed to be, but he was a true fan of ours. And he trained for a lot of teams, so I thought that was really special. Another time, I never wanted us to make excuses. Like one year, we had about 10 injuries of our starting lineup. And so after then, we didn't do too well, but I don't want nobody to worry about injuries or things like that. We'll just get our practice instead. Well, the next day I read in the paper, I saw the newspaper reporters come quite often, so I interviewed one. But next day I saw an article in the paper about us that talked about all of our injuries. It listed all of our injuries, the girls' names, what happened to them. Some of them a little embarrassing. And I was quite angry about that. So I went back to the girls' coach, the next practice, and I said, who of you told that reporter all about these injuries and everything? And because the coach said it came from, the reporter said it came from Coach Reynolds, and I knew I didn't say it. And they all pointed at Kurt Reynolds. He was 8 or 9 years old at the time. He technically was Coach Reynolds, so I couldn't say anything about it, but that was his practice. And then finally, I never let the girls cuss. I didn't like cussing from the girls. And we had a couple. Well, she's not here, so I can use her name. Let me know later. And I had this precious pair, that Bodie and they were together everywhere. They done everything together. And of the two of them, they were really special kids. They are to this day. But of the two of them, neither could really win a contest against sailors. And she would give me a but when they thought they learned the jumbo ladder, well, we were playing a game in Boone County, and it was a pretty good game we won, but the ref stopped the game and wanted me to come out and talk to him. So right in the middle of the game, I went and talked to him, and he told me, he said, your boys over there in the stands are making some inappropriate comments. I want you to talk to them. So I walked up to the boys and knocked it off or whatever, So then I walked off. They were so nosy. They couldn't wait till I got back there, and when I did, they said, what happened, what they wanted, and then I said, that ref told me that one of my players was out there cussing. And Jenny Nader jumped off the bench and said, I can't help it, that ref hits my guts. She told right when she got herself some jumbo. So anyway, just wrap it up. The best, strongest team. And I played Notre Dame as much as we could. They were really a great program, and they still are. And we've done something that last year that no one ever done to them before or since. When we beat them 3 games, and that year we sent them home packing. That's nice. And their coach, Tim Kristoff, who was a friend, he told me that far and away that team that he had that year was the best team he ever had. So it was so sweet to beat that team 3 games in a row. And this was best said by my dear friend Tim Kennedy, that Pat's making me calm down a little bit. But Tim put it best when he said, when he wrapped up our season by saying, we made Notre Dame
Well done, Coach. Congratulations. What a coaching career. What a cast of characters and wonderful athletes that you had. By the way, there's many reasons why I didn't coach soccer. Number one, I didn't know anything about it. Number two, red cards would have been my friend. Okay, we have reached our final fantastic Hall of Fame inductee tonight. This girl could flap flag. Jenny Rump Gaskins, a 1997 graduate. Four-year varsity starter for both the Lady Indians' highly successful soccer and basketball programs. Her speed, quickness, and skill, combined with her leadership qualities and relentlessness in competition, quickly shaped her into a cornerstone for team and individual success. In reference to her exceptional speed, her mother, Kathy, nicknamed her Silver Bullet. The 93 varsity soccer team, Jenny was left-footed, left-wing freshman, would be the team's third leading scorer with 8 goals and finished second with 6 assists. Coach Degrickle said of Jenny, she was great at leading a running teammate ahead towards the opponent's goal, laying the ball perfectly in front of them. It was a blessing to have a left wing that was left-footed. The 93 soccer team would establish 2 new records by winning 12 straight games and collecting 19 wins. Holy Cross would be ranked number 1 in Northern Kentucky and as high as number 2 in the state. Maybe the most sensational play of the year happened in the district finals against Notre Dame. Jenny passed that ball to Lisa Holikowski with great precision from around 40 yards out, and Lisa headed the ball in for the game winner. Jenny would be honored with her first of 4 Northern Kentucky Girls Coaches Association all-region soccer team selections. The 94-95 teams, Jenny was outstanding. She scored a total of 15 goals and dished out 12 assists. In 96, she would lead the Lady Indians to a record-time 19 victory season. Win their second 5th region tournament in 4 years. Though Jenny was off a double team, she finished the season with 12 goals and 14 assists and her 4th straight all-region selection. As a basketball player, Jenny was the consummate point guard, with the ability to score, but not the necessity to score. She's been the heart of this basketball team ever since she came in as a freshman, said the late great Bill Westerman. The Cincinnati Enquirer appropriately dubbed Jenny the Little General. During Jenny's 4-year varsity career, she was the only player in Holy Cross girls basketball history to score over 600 points while dishing out over 500 assists. The team was 86-30, including winning a 34 district title, 3 All-A region titles, and finished as a quarterfinalist and semifinalist of the All-A state. Individually, Jenny was the team's most valuable player in 1996 and 97, the Indian Award winner in 97, and after that season, Jenny was awarded a basketball scholarship to the University of Charleston. Tonight, it's very special. Jenny joins her late sister Lisa as a Holy Cross Sports Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Jenny Rump Gaskins.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Train, and congratulations to my fellow inductees. It's a tremendous honor to be here and to be acknowledged for all of you in this room. Some of you know me, and others are meeting for the first time this evening. My name is Jenny Rump Gaskins, graduating class of 1997. Earlier this year, I received a call from a voice that I recognized all too well. For a split second, I was catapulted back to my 17-year-old self, racing through my mental checklist from high school. It's Mr. Ryan. What the hell could he possibly want after all this time? I've only been late to class twice, and I have one to spare, so it's definitely not about detention. And my skirt was an acceptable mid-thigh length, so we were cool there. And I definitely knew that the state of Kentucky would allow me to take the ACT more than 100 times in 1 year, so it couldn't be that. Thank you, God. While running through my teenage Ryan delivered the invitation to join the Hall of Fame class in 2023. It was an absolute thrill. I was ecstatic. Mainly because I wasn't in trouble with the boss, but mostly because of the incredible honor it is to be recognized for two things close to my heart, sports and Holy Cross. Since then, I've been thinking about Holy Cross and what this amazing community means to me. Somewhere along the way, I remember hearing a famous basketball coach say, when it comes to sports and better yet life, remember these three things. Where you start, where you are, and where you want to be. Where you start, where you are, and where you want to be. From early on, Holy Cross and sports have been a part of my life. I come from a long line of Holy Cross alumni and outstanding athletes. I guess you could say it's in my blood. As a child, if I wasn't kicking around a soccer ball, I was busy dribbling a basketball, always striving to be noticed by my older sister and brother, both naturally gifted athletes, desperate to prove myself a worthy pickup in the neighborhood draft, teams organized by the bigger kids. I spent years in this gym, courtside, glued to every move and play made by some of Holy Cross's most talented athletes, coaches, championship teams. I witnessed notorious crosstown shootouts, intense conference rivalries, and regional finals worthy of any ESPN highlight reel. I remember the thrill that winning brought to our community and the profound disappointment that it became lost. I looked forward to summer basketball camps led by Mr. Train and Mr. Goller, and varsity players that I dreamed of one day becoming. As a little girl, I couldn't wait to grow up and proudly wear out Indian colors of red and black. Holy Cross is where I started. Holy Cross is where I started. High school and sports were an exciting time for me, and for all of us, really. Both the men's programs and women's programs were competing and earning regional titles and state recognitions. We were supported by coaches like Lane Reed, Clay Eifert, Bill Westerman, Bill Goller, June Borchers, Dave Reynolds, Bill Westerman, and my personal favorite, my dad, Steve Rum. As an athlete, I was lucky enough to share the soccer field and gym floor with women that shared the love of competition, dedication, discipline, hard work, and winning as much as I did. On the field, we were strong, aggressive, with an offense that could devastate and a defense that shut down teams labeled unbeatable. It was no different on the basketball court. We were stacked from top to bottom, demolishing opponents and embarrassing programs with state honors. We had pride in our school, confidence in one another, and trust in our coaches. What Holy Cross taught us far exceeded any title recognition or championship program. We learned to win together, we learned to lose together. We learned that the calls wouldn't always end in our favor, and that fighting harder, practicing more, and having honor is what defined us. We learned the value of hard work. These women are my lifelong friends, and I'm proud to know each of them. Holy Cross is where I was. Holy Cross is where I was. As an adult, my understanding of HC and what it signifies to me is deepened. It's a profound sense of community forged through values of sacrifice, unwavering dedication, tireless hard work, built on honor and unshakable faith. Holy Cross is more than bricks and mortar. It surpasses the confines of hallways and classrooms, extends beyond the gymnasium and playing fields. Holy Cross isn't just a physical place. It's an integral part of my identity, a place I call home, a central hub where enduring friendships took root and flourished. Holy Cross is where I started. Holy Cross is where I am. And Holy Cross is where I always want to be. I can't go without thanking a few very important people, to which they weren't here. This night would not be possible. To the trailblazers like Teresa Rump and Lori Edgerton, and so many outstanding athletes in the storied history of our school's female athletics. Thank you for laying the foundation and paving the way for future female athletes, teams, coaches, particularly young girls eager to compete, achieve, and excel in the world of sports. You are the bedrock of Holy Cross, women's athletics, and embody the true spirit of the Hall of Fame. To my husband, Brian, and our two boys, Brady and Blake, you truly are the absolute loves of my life. Thank you for entertaining the countless and probably slightly embellished stories and memories of the glory days. Brady and Blake, I promised you, I told you I was a decent athlete. Kicking your asses in driveway one-on-one isn't just dumb luck. It took years of practice and preparation.
inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2002, and my brother Steve for drafting their little sister in some of the most unforgettable competitions ever played out. Epic backyard showdowns that seemed to us more like World Cup finals or the NBA championship, all unfolding on our backyard battlefield. To my younger sister and fellow teammate, Rachel, thank you for being my most fierce competitor and always my protector. Yes. I'm pretty sure a couple of females in the 9th grade have earned black eyes because of Rachel. So I thank you for that. You made me a better player. My athletic career at lacrosse and then to go on to the University of Charleston wouldn't have been possible without you. So thank you. And lastly, and above all, I want to express my deepest gratitude to my parents, Steve and Kathy Roan, for their unwavering support no matter the competitive outcome or final score. Dad says it best. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. Always urging me, then and now, to approach life one step at a time. To my mom, my biggest fan, and my loudest cheerleader. I can still hear her voice echoing across the field or the gym floor. Let's go, Jaybird. I wish she was here tonight. She would have been so proud. Thank you.
Great stuff, Jeannie. Thank you so much. Hey, speaking of Hall of Famers, Father Hennigan just walked in. How about a round of applause for that? And before we leave, can we ask all the Holy Cross Hall of Famers that are sitting out here, that are up there in those banners, can we ask you all to stand, please? Alex Ball is included. You're amazing. And lastly, could all of us stand and give these 11, the 2023 class,